Welcome to the third-party Transformer News for Retro Robot Radio for the date of January 17th, 2015. Alright, this week Clonedroid showed off the box image of their upcoming copy of the Mastermind Creations Terminus Hexatron figure. This is a copy with some alterations to the Terminus Hexatron figure. Unfortunately, I don't know if there'll be that big of a difference to me, make it worth getting. I think if they wanted to get some sales, they should make it different from the Terminus Hexatron and do something like a Great Shot or the Shadow Maru versions of the character, if you ask me. But if you want to make just copies of someone else's product, yeah, well, best of luck. And here's the back of the box. Dr. Wu showed off some add-ons for the Age of Extinction Hound figure. These are a bunch of bandoliers and guns and weapons and such that'll go on the Age of Extinction Voyager class Hound. You can see him using the add-ons right here. And while this is a nice little add-on, I have no particular interest in Age of Extinction figures. I do wonder if Dr. Wu will be releasing a larger version of the set to go with the recent Chinese knockoff of Age of Extinction Hound that came out, where they upsized the figure to ultra size, which has so many fans excited that someone actually thought to make the figure an appropriate size for the toy line. You know, little hint there, Hasbro. DX9 showed off images of a special clear edition of their Invisible figure, their version of Masterpiece Mirage. According to their website, this will be a limited run given away to a few members on their Weibo site as a little prize. So not something you can actually buy, more like a lucky draw, but still neat to see. Function X15 has a lot of promo images released by FansProject. The figure is called MADLAW, and he turns to a wood runner, a Ronaforce, a dirt roller, a laser shot, and an air striker. Okay. So here's some pictures of the various modes. I think that's supposed to be a Puma in the original Quick Switch figure. You know what? Looking at the pistol mode, I think I'd really like to see someone release on Shapeways or as a little individual item a handheld 5mm pistol of Quick Switch's alt mode or even MADLAW's gun alt mode. Gigapower released images of the chrome bits for their upcoming Gunnar figure, their masterpiece version of Snarl, and as you can see, they're pretty darn shiny. And there'll be lots of them, so look for some shiny chrome from Gigapower. Mastermade showed off the alt mode images of their super deformed Metroplex figure, and while it is pretty cool, I wish they would put that kind of effort into something that wasn't a deformed midget with a giant head. I mean, honestly, why do people want these things? I don't get it. Another copy of Mastermind Creations figures has come out recently. Seen on some Chinese websites is this full-sized, slightly simplified version of Terminus Hexatron Shadow Emissary. It's available really cheap right now for people who want a cheap version of the Terminus Hexatron Shadow Emissary. But do expect it to be a little simplified, a little hollow. There's no articulation in the head, but it's a cute little toy. If you want a really good one, I'd still advise to get the official Mastermind Creations one. But if you can't afford it, or you just need something for a quick customization, this might be something you also want to look at. Play With This 2 had a huge collection of art released this week for various figures. Probably topping off the list is this guy named Iron Strike, who seems to be inspired by the Metal Hawk character from the Master Force series. Iron Strike will come as a 6-inch articulated figure with lots of weapons and jetpacks and such, and it also has a small transforming tech drone whose bits and bobs come off as 5mm ports, and he also has a big gun and a big sword, just like the real Metal Hawk figure, and lots of articulation, something that Metal Hawk didn't have. Bethesda 2 also showed off some artwork that's going to be exclusive to their crowdfunding. So if you want to get the original artwork of Anchor here, you'll have to go to their crowdfunding campaign once it starts and buy it. Otherwise, you can just look at the great pictures they have of it online. There's going to be several of these original pieces of artwork available on the crowdfunding. Play With This 2 also announced that they are working in conjunction with the Kaiju Chaos tabletop game to release stats for the Play With This 2 Lost Protectors, and you'll be able to play them in the game. You may remember Kaiju Chaos also did the same for the BMOG toys from Trent Toop. So these will be cool little figures you can use in the tabletop game. The first character sheet for the game, that of Astroblast, is actually available for a free download right now, so check it out. Play With This 2 also announced some 90s retro t-shirts that are going to be available at their crowdfunding. This has the logo of the Play With This comic shop that Rick Alvarez used to work at. Also, we saw some updated artwork of the Ancient Astronaut by Aaron Archer. This figure is an original character, but he also has some inspiration from the Octopunch figure from Generation 1 Pretenders. He's a old astronaut, gets infected by an alien life form and turns into a big tentacle monster. Ooh, scary. And he's designed by Aaron Archer, so that's kind of cool that we're going to be getting Aaron Archer designs from Play With This 2. Play With This 2 also gave a quick little art showing that the headshots are going to be coming with a display stand for each head, so you can display the heads instead of just have them loose in a duffel bag. So we all like that. These quick little teasers came out right before the show was recorded. There's a couple of heads coming. This one appears to be a Triceratops head. We're just getting the teaser of it from behind. Hopefully we'll see the front end soon. And also there's this walrus man with a cyber monocle attachment. Yes, okay. So if you know any walrus men with cyber monocles, any at all, okay. So we might be getting one of those characters in the Play With the 2 line. And finally, we have this very long neck. So obviously, it's Land Before Time's Littlefoot's getting an action figure, or maybe some other dinosaur. This here is the head for the Mighty Muscules, who is getting to be a bit of a favorite from Play With This 2, and it's become the logo on their Facebook page recently. TFC Toys showed off the full and complete combine mode of their Prometheus Combiner, their version of Defensor. The Prometheus Combiner is a really big robot, about the size of Hercules. Personally, I'm not interested in it just because I have a problem with the weird scale of a helicopter and a motorcycle being the same size. I've had the same problem since Generation 1. It just doesn't work for me. But it is a bunch of cool toys. If you don't mind the scale issues and want a Defensor, this is one definite way to go. We did hear that Combiner Wars will be having a version of Defensor as well, and it looks like they're actually taking Groove out of the leg position and instead putting in a armored truck named Rook. So I wonder how that's going to look. Actually, it might look better if they put Groove somewhere else on like the chest armor or as a gun for Defensor. A new company called Ultimate FansToys showed off these images of some weapons that can be used on a variety of figures. Here they are shown on some of the aerial bots from the Combiner Wars series. They're little missiles and drop tanks. And here they are seen on the Generations Voyager Roadbuster figure. And they do add a bit to him, although I'd really like to see someone go for a full Roadbuster armor for him sometime, like this on the FansProject toys. And here they are on the Generations Leader Class Jetfire figure. And also from Leader Class Jetfire, we see the option of some replacement arms coming from Ultimate FansToys. And these will improve the figure somewhat, although personally I'm just looking for some fillers for the all the holes that Hasbro left inside the Generations Leader Class Jetfire. Hasbro, are you listening? We can see the holes. Stop doing it. Okay, thank you. Unique Toys showed off the first color images of their Fenrir figure for their Orden Combiner. Fenrir is their version of Sinner Twin, who becomes the leg of Orden. And here you can see in alt mode and the robot mode. It has a big old set of weapons that actually turn into the foot in the combiner mode. And here's the combiner mode. So it's looking pretty good. I like it. Warbotron showed off in-package images of their Whirlwind figure. Whirlwind is their version of the Generation 1 Combaticon Vortex. And here you can see the contents of the box and the little slipcover they have for it. A new product that we don't know much about yet, just came online before I recorded this, is this combiner that looks sort of like a Power Core combiner. We've seen it online. It seems to be coming from a Chinese company, and hopefully we'll get more details about it next week. I can't even tell if the limbs actually turn into separate robots or just vehicles like a Power Core combiner. X-Transbots showed off images of some test shots for their packaging for their Leader Apollyon. That's their version of Masterpiece Megatron, which should be coming out sometime soon. It's just a little miniature version of the box, but it does show us a bit what the box will look like. More interest probably is the back, where we see that it will have a Generation 1 tech spec that you can read with a decoder. And also, among the characters in the artwork, you can see their Scourge, their Wind Charger, their Beachcomber, their Cosmos, and their Power Glide in the group scene. Also, I think there's a little bit of a Cyclonus type figure right in the corner. So, a lot of upcoming figures being teased on the back of the box. We have some updates to my YouTube channel since the last episode. I posted a review of the Weijang oversized Age of Extinction Hound toy. This toy is based on the Voyager Age of Extinction Hound, been upsized to maybe a Ultra Class figure. And a lot of people are looking forward to getting this out of China because it's not only a high quality toy, it's much more in scale to other Age of Extinction figures than the ones Hasbro produced. We had some feedback on last week's episode. Tyler Hurd posted that he's surprised that Perfect Effect didn't color their combiner bits to match Generation 1 Superion, which I understand that a lot of people were thinking that it would be white like Superion was in Generation 1, but it looks like they colored them black like the Superion limbs are in Combiner Wars. I think they're probably black because they also double as weapons and they would look better as black pistols than white pistols. But yeah, and maybe someday they'll release a white version for you too. As black ones, they will work well with a Defensor if one was to get made in the future, so we have that going for them. The oldest Cut 78 posted, "Isn't Ire Factory making an Ultra Magnus?" To which I wrote, yes, they are making an Ultra Magnus, and I talked about it in the November 29th, 2014 episode, but there haven't been any updates on it since then. Stormrider X wrote, "Nice review, thanks for posting about the KOs. He doesn't care about KOs, but he likes to know they're out there to watch out for them." Well, you're welcome. Jewish Man writes that Brownie and Backland turned out pretty good. He says he wishes they had a small slot on the back so that you could put on the back of the drill so you could put them in the hand of Brawny when he's in robot mode. That's something he expected it to do and it didn't. Blank Blonde 69 says that he loves the scaled down Hexatron, makes more Headmaster scale sense, and much better size for his collection. And Jurist Man also writes he was wondering about the FansProject Quick Switch. Well, Jurist Man, Got some pictures of it in this episode, so enjoy. This week's screen capture is of the Dinosaur Tank from the 1967 Ultra 7 TV series episode Operation Cyborg, also released in the United States as Death on Wheels. This week's news brought to you from the pages of tformers.com and TFW 2005. News read by Matthew Ignash. Stop by wikialpha.org to read more about third-party Transformers. Check out the Facebook page of the third-party TF Crashers. And then come on by the Retro Robot Radio YouTube channel and subscribe.